this is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness, and I'm delighted to be joined by trainer Dave Coldwell. I keep messing that up tonight, my introductions. Yeah, I keep on fumbling my words. But Dave, as always, I'm delighted to be joined by you. We've witnessed your charge, Anthony Fowler, pick up the victory over Fowler-Rose tonight. Happier with his performance this time out?
I am happier. He boxed well. He boxed. He did a lot of good things tonight. I'm happy with it.
What could you see in him this time round that we wasn't able to see in the Scott Fitzgerald fight?
Quite a few things. I mean, what could you see?
He seemed to be a lot more composed. Didn't rush in as much as what we've seen. I think there was a few times personally when in the clinch he got frustrated.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. So this is experience. Each fight has to teach him something. At this level, these fighters that are, they're still novices at the end of the day. What, 10 fights. They're still learning, and they have to learn from each fight. So it took a lot of lessons from the Fitzgerald loss. Now tonight, even though he's won, there are lessons to be learnt there as well. Because one of the rounds, I had to give him the biggest bollocking. Because I think it was when he got cut. It was cut from an head clash. He was moaning. You can't act like a spoilt brat, where you're moaning and you're looking around. Because I think he weren't concentrated looking and he got hit. You're in against a big dynamite left hooker and you give him that opportunity, that can change the course of a fight. So just things like that are lessons for him. Not to, you get cut, get on with it. It's all right. It's part of the game, part of boxing, And he got back to his boxing. So they're just little lessons that he can take away from tonight. Boxed really well. Did so much good tonight. I'm so happy with him tonight. But he can still take away lessons, and that's why I wanted the fight with Fowler-Rose, because for me it was a fight. Listen, everyone's a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's going to knock him out." No, mate. Fowler-Rose has won a lot more fights than what Fowler's even boxed at. Fitzgerald and Fowler was a good clash of prospects. Fowler-Rose has beaten some good kids, some very good kids, and he's fought at the top level. So he's a lot more experienced. And when fighters are experienced, and when they're thinking fighters like Brian, I knew he wasn't going to try and do what he used to do when he was younger, because you can't do things that you used to be able to do, so you'll adapt your style to be a little bit cuter, a little bit more subtle in what you're doing. Instead of running, bouncing around the ring, you'll step, and you look to make mistakes off of draw Fowler's mistakes, which, looking at the Fitzgerald fight, would be quite easy to do. Tonight, Fowler used his brain and didn't fall for them subtle moves that Brian was making to try and make him make mistakes. Fowler's jab tonight was very good. He wasn't loading up on every jab. He picked his shots well, and then he showed a little burst, but priority was to box, and also he's done the 10 rounds, which is I'm very happy with.
When you were speaking to him in between the rounds, and the round that you mentioned where you had to give him a bit of a talking to, did you find him to be more receptive this time as opposed to what he was against Scott Fitzgerald?
Yeah, because he kind of went out and did it, and got back to what I want him to do. He's learned a lot from Fitzgerald fight. That's a blessing in disguise. These kids need that. They need a reality check from time to time. Social media is great, but it can damage people in that the negativity can make them upset, and it can get them depressed and start thinking things that they don't need to be thinking about. But then also all the backslapping and people saying, "Oh, you're great, you're going to smash him, you're going to knock him out in 3, you're going to do this." Also, that can be damaging, because it can make you just start thinking, "Yeah, I'm going to smash him." You have to be able to handle that side of things. And so he's been a lot quieter on social media for this fight. It's kind of learn not to take social media seriously, really. And it's there as a tool, and you can interact with fans and have a bit of laugh with fans and stuff, and fans have got access to you, but not to take it too seriously, whether people are sagging you off or praising you too much. So little things like that helped him in the build-up to this.
So obviously it's very early doors yet, but what are you thinking with regards to his next opponent?
I don't know. Fitzgerald's fighting Cheeseman. In the meantime, Fowler will have a rest, and then we will look to have another fight at this sort of level, because this is I didn't want him from Fitzgerald dropping down a level. This is the same. This is a good level. This is Brian's a good fighter, so you can't drop back down a level. I want to stay at this level. I don't want to get carried away and jump up. I want another fight at this sort of level, and take it from there.
Now, obviously, I know about you guys with a headline fight tonight, but did you catch a rest at any of your undercard?
I didn't see anything. I saw the last round of Esserman and Goldrick. Yeah, I saw the last round of that. I didn't see anything else. Oh, and I saw the first round of Harding and Cullen.
We will quickly move away from this card then and just get your thoughts on a couple of things. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be very close to being announced. Tyson Fury will face Otto Wallin in September. Your thoughts? No, that just from your face, it's the first you've heard of it.
Is that right? Okay.
Your thoughts on that fight once it seems to be announced?
Yeah, what is he's unbeaten, isn't he?
Yeah, 20.
He's from Sweden, isn't he? It's a listen. If you can have the time out that you've had, come back, have a couple of bounce back fights, and go straight in against Wilder and do what he did, then Schwartz was a bit of a disappointment, and I just think that's just the same sort of level, really.
Do you think there could be any risk in the sense that we've seen Deontay Wilder going with Dominic Breazeale, who's going to face Luis Ortiz prior to facing Tyson Fury in a rematch next year? I mean, no disrespect to Tyson's opponents in Tom Schwartz or Otto Wallin, but they're not the same names of what Dominic Breazeale and Luis Ortiz are. They're not seen as established heavyweights, or not necessarily seen as, but they're not as well known as those guys. In terms of preparation for a Wilder rematch, do you think that they're the right type of opponents for that?
Look at his two opponents before he fought Wilder. They weren't preparation. But look what he did in the Wilder fight. It doesn't matter. Fury's brilliant at what he does. He's very good at what he does. So he can kind of do what he wants. So the only thing is from a fan's point of view, because he is so good, I would like to see him against better caliber opponents. Just because I want to see him in. I think the better the opponent, the more you're going to see out of Fury. So it's disappointing in that. But if you're Tyson Fury and if you're getting paid shitloads to fight Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin, fucking do it. This is boxing. He works harder in the gym. He obviously works harder in the gym because of what he does, what he can do, and the weight that he dropped and things like that. So if you can get away with it, do it. It's just disappointing from a fan point of view, because he's that good that there's guys that are higher in the rankings that he would beat, but there'd be better fights. There'd be fights that we can talk about. You know what I mean?
And finally, Billy Joe Saunders and Frank Warren came to an amicable split earlier today. It seems to be all suggestions that he will sign with Eddie and Matchroom. What are your thoughts behind that, if that was to happen?
Do you know what? I'll be surprised. I don't know. But then again, there's a DAZN, isn't there? I suppose. I don't know what he's doing.
Do you think that could be the big thing for Billy Joe, knowing that DAZN have Canelo and Golovkin, Eddie has Demetrius Andrade, Callum Smith, etc.
I would listen. There's other people out there other than DAZN that'll pay money and that are great promoters, but at that division with who's there with DAZN, then it makes sense. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know what the deals are, what's being offered. But it's interesting. Him and Frank have done a great job together. Got a couple of world titles. Had a good, I think it's about 10 years in it. Had a good 10-year run. And Billy's obviously fancied a change. And I'm just excited to see Billy in big fights. I just want to see him in big fights. I think he's an unbelievable talent. I don't think he's been promoted or put in the fights that are going to project him to what his skill and talent level deserves to be. He's phenomenal. I've seen that man spar. He is unbelievable. I've seen him spar out of shape, and he's unbelievable. And so I want to see him in the big fights, in the major fights. So see you later, mate. Take care. Take care, mate. See you soon, pal. So I want to see Billy in some great fights. So if he signs with Matchroom and Eddie, I think them great fights, big fights will happen. So Yeah, fingers crossed.
Dave Coldwell, I've kept you for long enough once again. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, Speak to Boxing Social.
Thank you very much. Cheers.